You know, one of the first things I started doing when I got into preparedness many years ago was to hunt out a pocket knife to carry with me all the time. And it turns out it came in handy. At the time, I was working in a hotel, and I was constantly breaking down boxes, and really came in handy for that. But soon I found that the pocket knives I were choosing were really not up to the task. So today, we're taking a look at a really high quality, yet very affordable pocket knife for you to use and carry in your EDC rotation. And this is the Vosteed Labrador. Let's check it out. All right, folks, welcome back. So I wanted to get into this knife and show you what it's all about. We are going to open up the box in a minute here and show it to you. It is a rather large pocket knife, yet fits really well in your hand, and I can't figure out how that works. I've had one other person try this, and they looked at it and were like, wow, that's way too big for me. And they tried it, and sure enough, it fit right in their hand very, very easily. So today, we're going to take a look at this. I want to show you what's inside the box. Just a word about Vosteed. So far, the knives that I've received from them have been really, really high quality. Very surprising for the sub-$100 price on them. Normally, knives of this quality are way up there in $200 or $300. So let's take a look at the box. First of all, you're going to get this box here. And that's your information. We're going to slide this out. Now, what I really like about Vosteed, and it may seem kind of corny, but the presentation. You know, it's just nice. This is a nice metal box here. Nice sleeve. Let's open that up. There we go. And this is a little metal container, which also can be repurposed, folks. Thinking about how I could turn this into one big stove. Now, you will get some stuff in here, of course, a sticker and patches and information on the knife itself, and a cleaning cloth. You know, just kind of nice touches. It's something you wouldn't expect on a less expensive pocket knife. Yet, this thing is very, very high quality for what it is. So, we have a little thing here. And let's take a look at this knife right here. All right. There you go. So we'll flick it open and let you look at it. You see, it's a big knife. I mean, this is 9 inches all along here, all the way across. But I want to tell you a little bit about the knife before we actually test it out a little bit, and I'll give you some specs on it. It's a large knife that really doesn't feel big in your pocket or hand. Now, being that it's a knife that's 9 inches in overall length, I kind of thought it was a little bit too big for me. Especially for a pocket knife, the blade is 4 inches long. So I kind of was worried that it was a little bit too big for me, and then I kind of forgot about it. And the knife showed up, and I was like, oh, wait, this is the knife that was supposed to be too big for me. And it really wasn't. It was actually really, really nice. But Vosteed's done an awesome job keeping the Labrador light and thin and making it very easy to carry. The blade of this knife here is a 154 cm steel. I've become a big fan of that steel because not only is it rugged, but it holds an edge well and it's very easy to sharpen. And it's much more affordable than some of the super steels manufacturers seem to be leaning towards these days. You know, some of these knives I've seen people carry, I'm like, I'm be afraid I'd lose the darn thing. I really like knives as I feel they're a very important everyday carry survival item. But for what I've seen some of them cost, it would just be, you know, kind of worthless for me because I'd be afraid to take the thing out, damage it, lose it, whatever. I have lost pocket knives in the past. It happens. Clips break, they fall out of your pocket, they get stuck on a seatbelt, you get out of your car, it falls on the ground. The next person comes by, picks it up, and it's gone. So I've had it happen in the past. So for an under $100 knife that is made of a decent steel, I really got to say it's a definite win in my book. The handle on these scales are made of micarta. It looks and feels great. Now, you can get it in green or black. They say this is black, but it was weird. When I was outside taking the thumbnail picture, it almost looked green, but it is black. It's just enough kind of resistance on it to keep it in your hand, yet it doesn't feel obnoxious and it's not going to hurt your hand at all holding the thing. So the very slender design of this and the steel liners make it so light to carry. I could not believe how light this knife is. I mean, it's a big knife, and you wouldn't think it'd be so light. The clip on here makes it easy to fit in your pocket. It is a bit of a deep carry, tip-up knife, but it doesn't hinder. It's not obnoxious, you know. The knife that I carry normally, which is a cheapie, that actually holds a good edge on it, it actually was heavier than this. And I'm like, wow, it's a smaller knife, and it's heavier than this. Now, another thing, the size. We've talked about the size. I'll show you it in my hand. I can easily get a 4-finger grip on this. Now, I have big hands, okay? but I can easily get a 4-finger grip on this with no issues whatsoever. And I get a 4-finger grip and I can use the finger choil if I really want to kind of work up on it and really get more controllability out of this. So if I had to, say, cut up some fat wood to start a fire, way to go. No problem at all. I can get right up on there and get full control of it and get right into my fat wood, make some nice curls. Now, the back is not a 90-degree spine. I'm not sure if it will strike a ferro rod. Although it is sharp on the edges, it's not 90-degree spine. We will try that. I'll bring over a ferro rod here in a second, and we'll try it out. So when I messed around with it, how did it perform? Well, it was razor sharp right out of the box. Lockup is tight. There's no wiggle of the blade whatsoever. The detent is good. The blade springs forward when you flip it. Whether you're top or front flipper, you can flip it that way. You got a flipper stud there, or you can use the stud in the back. I haven't quite figured out an efficient way to do it with the front stud. I'm always afraid I'm going to hurt myself, but there you go. It actually does work, but I prefer the, honestly, I'm starting to prefer using the back like that. And you see, watch this, how it drops closed. So smooth. It is a liner lock knife. The lockup on it's really good. You can take a look at the lockup there. Blade centering is right on point. Nice and centered right there. Really, all in all, a very nice knife and very light for the size. Now, another thing I noticed, and as you saw in that previous demonstration there, it opens smooth as butter. It's got a ceramic ball bearing opening system, so you can enjoy reliable, quick one-hand deployment with it. The blade is really easy to keep sharp. A few strokes on my ceramic rod and it was ready to go again. And that was just after messing around with it out of the box. I tried cutting up some cardboard and it did very, very well. But I wanted to keep it, topped off and nice and sharp for the video here so I could show you. So what we're going to do is test cutting a few things with it. And we will also try striking it with a ferro rod. Try using it to strike a ferro rod, I should say. And see how well this thing performs. So to give this guy the benefit of the doubt, being that it doesn't have a 90-degree spine, we got the biggest ferro rod I have. And what we're going to do is give it a try. I am going to try the liner lock on it. All right, I'm going to test that. Hopefully, it doesn't cut my hand. But let's give it a try here. Well, got a few sparks. That's not horrible. It's definitely not what I would consider a first, line type thing. But as a last ditch kind of thing, if that's all you got, hey, it did the job. It made some sparks. Again, I would advise you, if you're going to do this with pocket knives, is to always strike using a closed edge like that. This way can be dangerous if you don't trust your liner lock. I wanted to do it just to test it out and see how well it worked, and it seemed to perform very well. So the first thing I'm going to do is I got some paracord out here, and I'm going to kind of double it up like this and see how well that slices through there. All right, and try not to bump the camera in the process, but yet keep it in camera. There you go. Not a problem at all. That just tears right through it. Not even an issue. Another thing I like too is it doesn't have a serrated edge. I'm not a fan of serrated edges on pocket knives. I know they have some use, but for me, when it comes to carrying a knife, I carry it mainly as a survival tool, so I don't really want a serrated edge on it. I want that blade edge all the way, maximum coverage, so I have a lot of room there. Let's try it on a piece of paper here. And this is where I always screw up. Look at that. Super sharp. Just incredibly sharp. And that is, I really have not sharpened this. I just ran it over actually, I'll show you what I did. About 4 or 5 strokes over this, and then stropped it using my work sharp. So you can see this thing really is sharp. Let's try some cardboard here. You see it's having no problem tearing through that cardboard at all. All right, so that's what I think. I think it's very well worth it. The knife runs $84. Now, for a knife of this quality, and I've held some very expensive pocket knives, I gotta say, that is an incredible price. $84 for a big knife that seems to do its job, and heck, it'll even strike a ferro rod. I'd say that's a pretty darn good deal. So let me clean up my mess, and I'll give you the final specs and info on this knife, and we'll wrap it up. So I haven't done anything since we went through that cardboard, and I just wanted to show you really quickly. This thing is still hair shaving sharp, as you can see. This thing is still shaving hair off my arm. So my little adventure there cutting through a little bit of cardboard, this knife is none the worse for it. All right, let's get you some final stats on this. Overall length is 8.73 inches. Your blade length is 3.74 inches. that will kind of work in your favor if you live in an area where you're restricted to carrying less than a 4-inch knife. Your blade width, okay, this way is 1 inch. Blade material, 154 cm. Your thickness is 0.118 of an inch. The grind is a flat grind. The finish on this can be black or green with the scales, and that's a satin finish on the knife. It is a liner lock. Your hardness is a HRC of 60 plus or minus 2. Handle length 4.99 inches, and your width is 1.11 inch. Handle material is going to be your micarta, and the weight on this is ridiculously light at 3.44 ounces. Like I told you before, it is a tip-up right side carry. Does have a deep carry. It is a non-reversible thing there, so you can't reverse the clip. And the liner on the frame is a stainless steel liner. It also, which I forgot to mention previously, has a hole back there in case you want to add a lanyard to it. But I think this will just fit perfectly in my pocket and will become my new EDC knife, because this thing is just really, really nice. And like I said, the link for it will be down below. If you're interested, it goes straight to Vosteed's site, so it's not like I'm making anything off it. I just love their products. It's one of those kind of budget-friendly, sort of budget-friendly. I know there was a time where I'd be looking at this going, $84, I can't afford that for a pocket knife. So I understand. And that's why I like to show you both very expensive items and very affordable items, and some in the middle, so you know what's out there. It's not a matter of showing, I don't show you things you say, you have to buy this or you're going to die. I hate YouTubers that do that. You know, it's like, it's your funeral if you don't spend $5,000 on a knife. You know, that is not me. I just don't like that. I kind of like to spread the spectrum out a little bit and show you maybe things that are more expensive and maybe things that are less expensive as well. And that's why I've been covering some more expensive items. I have a few more coming up. Especially with the power stations, they can be pricey, but there are also some very affordable ones out there too, and I've shown you those in the past. So that's kind of my deal with this. I feel that for $84, you're getting a knife that I feel I'd pay $200 or $300 for if it had a Benchmade logo on it, you know, and I really, really like it. It's very, very comfortable. You know, it's nice in the hand to carry. You got a little bit of a swell there, so it fits right in your palm very, very well. Anyway, folks, like I said, the link for this will be down below. $84 right on Vosteed's website. You can check out all my other links down below as well. I have my Amazon store. If you're not looking to buy anything in it, you can just click the link and shop as you normally would. We do appreciate that. Our freeze-dried wholesalers link, remember, we're still in that sale for the slider as of today. Okay, you're watching this video a month from now, there's no sale going on. As of today, you still have chances to pick up those sliders that we showed you yesterday. So definitely check out their sale. My code, my link, not my code, my link will save you 15%. Just using the link. You click the link, you'll go there, you will shop what you want, put it in your cart, and as you check out, you will see my discount for 15%. So the more you buy, the more you save. I know that sounds kind of corny, but it is true. All right. Below that is our My Patriot Supply link. That's preparewithiridium.com. Iridium? Wow. Preparewithiridium.com. On that site, I have the 3-month kit. Okay. Now, it's not only just food this time. It's $200 off the 3-month food kit. Plus, you're getting $200 worth of survival gear with it as well for free. Things like radios, fire starters, all that kind of stuff on there. So definitely check it out. That is an amazing deal this month. I'm surprised they're running that deal for me this month. And below that is our Thrive Life freeze-dried food store. Anyway, folks, I thank you for spending your time with me today. Stay safe and stay prepared.